Hi everyone, this is Bitupan here, the founder and the admin of the group Book Lovers of India. I've started a series where I come live and talk to you guys and share some knowledge about what I have learned from self-help books. And I also try to engage with you all. And if you are somebody who is not a part of the Book Lovers of India group and you are watching from somewhere else, then Book Lovers of India is a platform where there are many readers and authors connected together, and it has got around 22,000 members, and the group is still increasing. So I had done three sessions alone where I have come and spoken about some topics, but I thought that it would be even better if I call somebody who is experienced into the live talk that I'm doing, and then apart from just my knowledge that I share here, somebody else can also share their knowledge and their wisdom. So I thought today is the fourth day. I wanted to do in a different format where I thought that let me also invite one of the guests who is Vinit. He's a friend of mine and he is also into this personal development space and coaching space. He has been mentoring many people in self growth. So I have got him online today with me. And since this is a live session, if you have any questions for him or for me, you can definitely ask in the group, in the comment section. So we'll be happy to reply to you. And even if you are not watching live, you can ask your questions. We'll be happy to reply. And so let me invite my friend Vineet. Hi, Vineet. Can you join, please?
Hey Bitupan, good morning. Happy
Good
Saturday.
morning, Vineet. Same to you, Vineet. How are you doing?
Good, Bitupan. I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Yeah, man, good to see you. And I just thought, I had been thinking about this from quite some time that I should include guests also on the live talk. So, and I'm
Awesome.
happy that, you are the first guest actually on this live talk show that
Wow.
I am doing.
That's so nice. That's so nice. I'm really fan of your group, and I know I've
Thank
been
you.
part of this group since almost a year. And I had requested you to make me also moderator so that I can also contribute, and you kindly accepted that. And that's so nice of you. And I really follow your group and your growth
Thank you.
beyond even beyond Book Lovers of India. I'm your fan as well. So thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Vineet. So in the last three sessions, I had been just talking about random topics. All right. So today I thought I did not know what to talk about. I thought let's talk about what we have learned. We both have learned on our journey on the self
Hmm.
growth. And I just thought whatever comes to my mind, couple of things that you have learned, you can share with the people in the group. Right.
Yeah.
But before that, can you just tell few lines about yourself? What do you do, and what is your background?
Sure, with Tupanna. So I have almost 18 years experience in IT. I'm an IT professional, and originally I hail from a small place in Bihar called Samastipur. But I've been due to my job, and even before that. So I was telling this story to some of my friends in my book club that I have changed 9 schools in 12 years. In my initial schooling, it was a difficult journey, but interesting. Now I find it so interesting because I was able to connect with so many people. So that's how, and so I roamed around whole India, and through job I then roamed around the world, and I'm here in Bangalore since almost last 5 years, and really I'm I think around 5 6 years back I started in 2013 or so. I started getting interested in public speaking, and because the kind of impact we were able to make with communication, we can exponentially do same thing 10 times better if we are just doing without communication. I was being a techie guy, most of us are like that. I was just like guy of a cubicle. Only I'll work on my laptop, and the only good friend I had was my laptop, right?
Ah,
So coming from that, and then understanding the value of personal development, public speaking, book reading, and all those things started changing me. And yeah, so last year, with the help of my mentor Vijay, we started this club also, Unlimited Potential Inside, wherein I'm able to help many people there, as a public speaker, mentor, as a life coach. Thank you so much, Vitupan, for asking me to introduce myself.
Yeah, thank you. I actually wanted to talk about the unlimited potential inside also.
Mhm.
You said that you have changed 9 schools in 12 years. I didn't notice. All right. And are you, I mean, what have you learned? Is there anything that you have learned really by changing schools every 2, 3 years and meeting new friends? So, how was the experience?
Sure, great question, Abhitavan. So, uh, that was as I said, when it was happening, it was a difficult journey. So it used to happen that, let's say I was in, for first to second standard, I was in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. That was in Holy Cross School, if I remember correctly. It was Holy Cross, and then I made started making friends by the second year. By when I say second year, second class, second grade, and
Hmm.
then suddenly my school gets changed to St. Francis School. And then I move on to some other state, then to other state, then to other state. So every 1 or 2 year. So the challenge was I never used to. I was not able to make any friends. And during that childhood, when I see my child now, my Annie, who is my 6 years old daughter, so for them now I understand it's so important for child to have their own association, to have their own friends.
Hmm.
That part was missing from the challenge perspective. But now when I retrospect and see, at least that gave me resilience of connecting with any people, right? It doesn't matter if he's a
Hmm.
Marathi. I remember I was in Seattle for one of my project thing, and so we were roaming around in car, and a couple of my friends from my company, they were surprised if somebody who is a Punjabi guy in the on the driver's seat, I'll start talking with them in Punjabi. If somebody is from, let's say,
Hmm.
Bihar, I'll talk with them in their language. If somebody is from Gujarat, so I was able to connect with everyone. So now it really, I think, when I see back, it's an amazing superpower that I got. But when you are in the journey, you never realize that. It was like
That's true,
frustrating. Oh
actually.
my
That's
god.
exactly what I wanted to hear. Because
Yeah.
when you said this, I wanted to put myself in that place and see what if I had to keep changing my schools all the time? So, is there
Mhm.
something positive or negative? There is something that is immediate negative, which is that you need some time to actually get along with a couple of friends. And by the time you get along, it's time to leave them and then go to some other place and make new friends, right? So, at those moments, it looks like it's very difficult. But today, when you reflect back, you have so much of great experience with different people altogether, right? It has taught you a
Right.
lot.
Right.
And good thing that you said your laptop was your best friend. Internet is also now everybody's best friend, mobile and internet,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And I wanted to ask you about books. Okay, how has, because this is a book lovers group, I thought I wanted to ask you this question: how has books impacted you? How has books changed your life, in your mindset, how it has impacted? And also, if you can tell me which are the top 2 or 3 books which have impacted you the most.
Surely, sure. So I think yes, book has been a major transformational thing for me. But I'll tell you how it started. So because we all have started with books since childhood. My parents used to say, "बेटा अच्छे से पढ़ लिख लो, right? पढ़ाई कर लो अच्छे से, then you will become big man and all that, right?" We didn't even understand what is big man and all that, but लगता था चलो पढ़ के, but that never gave us any reason why should I read books. But somewhere
Hmm.
I had to. And then when schools were changing, school boards were changing, I was learning Marathi, then Gujarati. That one subject was always there. Interestingly, I was in state boards, not in central
Oh,
board. So of course all other subject were in English, but one language used to be there, right? So that itself was difficult, right? So doing moving from one part to other. So basically book, somewhere I started I started a bit hating book, because I didn't find any purpose why I'm reading. The only reason was I need to get some good marks. And that's not an emotional goal or emotional dream, right? That can, it doesn't come from inside. It's coming from external. So by the time I finished my graduations and all, so somewhere I started ignoring all the books. Of course I used to read all my technical books, being in technical roles for so long in technology, architect and those kind of things. We have to read always on Google and all. And also we have to buy books. But that never gave me that, I was not so happy to read the books. That's okay, because it's a work to do. I have to do that and I have to finish that, and that's so important. Where you can't be very normal in the job also. If you want to grow there, you have to show your passion there as well, right? So for that, of course your knowledge and everything has to be increased. But gradually, when it was happening only when it was required, book never, I was never interested by myself. It's like ask parent asking, boss asking, job asking, you should read. So I was reading. But then, and I was reading somewhere at the back of the mind. In college time, I read this Vivekananda's works. He has a 8 works that Karma Yoga, and it
Hmm.
really started changing me, because as I said, the childhood was a bit unique that I had, and I my self belief also in that whole process got quite battered. That I thought, because when you don't have friends, mostly people will ignore you, mostly people will laugh at you, right? And there is no one who want to support you. So my self belief was really down. But this book, so Vivekananda's books, really helped me a lot, and that's where I started realizing there is something in the book. Parents used to
Hmm.
say that the book is your friend, but that was just an external thought, never came inside me. But this works
But
actually
I
started.
think parents meant about the academics book, right? Which
Exactly,
is needed
exactly,
for your exams.
right.
And I still do not know why I learned a plus b whole square. That is like nobody likes to read those things. But
That's
yes,
true.
what we're talking about is self-growth books and all. So it all
Exactly,
started off
exactly.
with Vivekanand's book.
Yeah. So that
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
I think I took him as a mentor. So nobody was, again, a
Mm.
mentor coach. Again, that was a kind of foreign concept for me. So I used
Ah,
to think
right.
that happens not in India, outside India, right? So I started taking him as a mentor because he also had a mentor in Ram Krishna, right? So I thought, okay, I'll make Vivekananda as mentor, and people started calling him in my initial career Vinitananda, because I was talking about him.
Oh, really?
Lots of things. My
Vivekananda.
parents
All
were
right.
scared if I will leave the world and leave the world and go to some sannyasi, become sannyasi and all. But I
Okay.
started talking a lot. But I thought that he's the one of the biggest self development guy, right?
Mm.
The way he established all the mutt, the way he established, wherever he was going, he was trying to build a mutt there, and then helping people to connect with the Ramakrishna mission on the thought process of that you have all the strength, work on the society, work, help people. So service is the key. So many things that he said. He says, I am Shiva, God is inside me. If God is inside me, why do I worry? So that
Mm.
really started changing me. But again, that didn't help me to read many books, but at least one or two book I started buying. I used to read
Mm.
one book a day, one book a year, or maybe half book a year. But then
The
almost
process
three.
started from
Yeah,
there, and
yeah,
then it
process started
started
from there.
compounding, right? You bought books
Exactly,
because you like books. Again,
exactly,
there was a
exactly.
compound effect on that. Yeah.
Exactly. But then again, for 8, 10 years, same thing remained. Almost one, two books I was buying or reading, not very consistent, because again, I was
Mm.
so much focused on the job. I was not about, no, I didn't knew how to prioritize myself, how to balance things and all that. But then
Mm.
when I met Vijay, who is my mentor, and through Peak Impact Mentorship, that's where it started changing, and I started getting interested. So I had this in a book, this Goodreads. If you see my journey in 2016,
Ah.
I had read almost one or two books. In 2017 or 18, I read almost 17 books. So 1 year, that was a transformation of 2 books to 17 books, and in 2019 it was 35 books.
Oh,
So
nice.
so now I started gathering the pace that what Bill Gates, I heard about him that he reads at least 50 on most of the successful book. People actually read at least 50 books a year. And last year I almost finished 50 books.
Mm. Mm.
So that's how it
So,
started. Yeah.
do you reread also any of your books that you have read before?
I reread many books, and I count that as a separate book also. So not, I'm not saying when
Mm.
I say 50 books I have read, actually I have read only unique books. I reread some of the books are like a reread. I think more than reading, what I realize is now again, Bituman, I thought I have to slow down. Earlier I was thinking that I'll read actually 100 books, but then I thought, what is the point of reading book if I am not able to implement anything in my life?
Implement. Ah,
Right. so,
right.
so now I also know the process of reading it very fast. Earlier I was very slow. I can finish one book in like 3 4 days of time, if I get 4 5 hours.
Mm.
I know that process and all that, so that's why space is still same. But now I reread many books. That's so important. And I've read, for example, Think and Grow Rich. I have read it at least 15 times.
15
Right.
times.
Yeah, at least
Then
15
see,
minutes.
I think you
Yeah,
will agree to this. I have heard somebody else saying this. I don't remember who. When you reread some books or when you listen to a podcast or a talk that you have listened before, when you listen it to the second time or the third time, or when you read it for the second time or third time, you get couple of some insights which actually you have missed in the very first time, and
exactly.
you realize that, oh, where did this come from? How did I miss this? You do it for the third time, you get still some more insights which you actually missed it. And that is a human nature. To I think nobody is 100% perfect that you can grab everything in the very first go. So that's why it is very important that you have to select some self development books which are your top priority list, like Think and Grow Rich and all, and you should keep reading them at least once in a year, right? So that it is like, as we all keep saying, it is like motivation is like bathing. We have to keep bathing every day, so that way we have to keep reading this, otherwise they will go out of our mind.
Exactly.
But as you rightly said that you are not interested in books in your school days. Obviously, there were school
Right.
academic books, and nobody would be interested. It's all technical books and writing formulas and reading some mathematical problems that we may not even use it in our life. Nobody would like
Right.
that.
Right.
But if we have some self-development books during our school days also, which I do not know, for as far as I know, in my school there was no self-development teaching in during our school days. I do not know about the situation of today's present school, but if we have these self development courses or book reading clubs during school days, then don't you think that it will impact a lot in the children? They will start
Right.
liking books from a very young age, right?
Right.
So why do
Right.
you think that it is not there in most of the schools? And uh,
Yeah.
what can, as parents, we can do? I think this is also very important. What, as a parents, we can do if it is not taught in school? How can we help our children to learn?
Yeah, that's a very amazing question, and it has lots of dimensions. What you asked, I was about to add to what you said in the previous point, but then this itself is very overwhelming. Let me try to reply this question. Right, I think one of the reason that I think is why, even before that, I think if you see our education system in olden days or golden days, right,
Golden
somewhere
days.
the focus was more on personal development, more on the mindset, more on the integrity, more on the thought process, right, then on the strategy. So I always like this formula by Tony Robbins. He says in life there are three things, three S formula. He says the first S
Hmm.
is the first S is state, mental state. How resilience you have gathered, how what is your mindset, right? What is your thought process, your state, right? Then he tells story. What are the stories that you're telling to yourself or to the world?
Hmm.
This cannot be done. This is difficult. He says that if your story and state is not aligned, it's not aligned for success, then don't even think about
Hmm.
strategies. And I think
Right.
our education system is all about strategies, all about strategies, the current education
Hmm.
system. And I think it was meant for purpose. The purpose was Britishers wanted people to be employable, right? Even today
Of
that's the
course.
focus. I'm surprised even today they say there are so many statistics that come out, surveys, okay, these people are employable, these people are not employable. What do you mean by employable? Right? Why can't we create
Hmm.
right, those kind of jobs? So basically somewhere we all have, it's like there's an example, right? If you ask fish to if you put fish in the competition of monkeys to jump on the tree, that is that is not a game, right? So somebody who might not be interested in things which are there, right? Some guys might be a great guitarist, some guy could be a great
Hmm.
thinker, the other guy could be a great speaker, right? So our education system is I think different people come and there's one mold which put them, just everyone becomes in the same mold. So I'm so surprised when I hear some guys, they are such a great musician. They are such a, and I always had this aspiration. I want to become a good singer. Never been that, but and those people are, they don't even care about it. They are also working like a mediocre software engineer. Just an example, right? So I think our education system somewhere has created that those barriers, that these are our limits. These are self-defined limits. I can't grow beyond that. So, and I think
Hmm.
that's where probably we are not producing many Vivekanandas or many Abdul Kalams of the world, or right. I think, yeah, and that was the first part that you asked. Why That is my thought why it is might be happening, because we are still bound to that Britishers kind of education wherein we are producing all employees. And the
And you
second
have
part of,
explained it very nicely.
yeah, thank you so much.
Good
Thank you very much.
explanation.
Yeah, and the second part is when you said about how can parents help there. I think
Mm.
parents' role is so critical. Parents' role
Yes.
is so critical, and but I think they are taking it very seriously. One is, first they have to, I think this Sadhguru says always that we are not a custodian of our, basically we are not owner of our children, right?
Of
We are just a
course.
custodians, right? We are just there to help them out in their growth. We have to
Mm.
understand what they want to help them what they want. Rather, what we do,
Mm.
I might have a failed dream. I couldn't become badminton champion. I couldn't become IAS officer. I couldn't become that, and I'm putting that on my child. Like, you also become doctor. You also become engineer. You also become that. So I think that's a big
Mm.
problem. So the first thing I always suggest to any parent is, first you start working on the personal development. You have not realized what is personal development, right? Until unless I learn personal development, until unless my child will never do what I say her, but she will always do what I do,
What you do?
right?
Right.
So I'm surprised. So we have this something called Kids Club in our Unlimited Potential Inside group, and I'm surprised. Like, parents are not even bothered. They're just putting their child there. The idea was so that we can help them from the mindset perspective. What we are learning, what I am trying to teach my child. Let me also add to other child also. Parents are not even bothered. They will just make them sit and, okay, they are doing something. Okay, they are doing, that's okay, right? I ask them, why don't you guys also start working on a personal development, right? First you work and then you actually help them. Child and
Mm.
child, they will say anything. मेरे पापा तो बुक भी नहीं खरीद के देते हैं, वो ये भी नहीं करते हैं, वो भी नहीं करते हैं,
Oh.
डायरेक्टली लाइव स्ट्रीम पे दे से दिस. ऐसे यार क्या मतलब.
Oh.
So I think the only way is first we work on ourselves, only then we can think of anyone else. And children तो भैया बहुत जरूरी है कि वो आपकी बात सुनेंगे ही नहीं तो. So that's what I think. Yeah.
बिल्कुल सही बताया आपने. Very true. Children will not learn what you teach them. They will learn what you do and
Exactly.
what you are. Yeah.
Right.
So you mentioned about UPI right now, and said that some children club is also there, and many people in my group may not be knowing that what is UPI. It is unlimited potential inside.
Mhm.
So tell me something more about this unlimited potential
Sure.
inside. What is this community all about? What all you do?
Sure, Vitaman. Thank you so much. And this community has really helped me more than I helping them. This community has helped me to grow as a person. So all the learnings
Hmm.
that I had from the books that I was reading, and through mentoring that I was getting from Vijay, and through Peak Impact Mentorship, which is also a parent organization. So there are almost 32 book clubs like Unlimited
Hmm.
Potential Inside we are running. So when Vijay offered me that I am at a level where I can start mentoring one book club. That's where my journey started last year with this
Hmm.
book club. And we have some amazing vision. So exactly what we discussed, I'm so happy that we discussed those things only. So we see that there's a big gap on the mindset, on the EQ, or I'll say, if you put it on the scientific term, it's emotional quotient. I think
Emotional
most of us
quotient.
are
Huh?
missing that emotional quotient. IQ is strong.
Hmm.
If you see this COVID times, it's not about leadership, is not about now IQ. Now it's all about EQ. How are you able to
Hmm.
managers who are managing people, they don't have people to manage, they're sitting in their home. Right? So now they have to
Hmm.
leverage their EQ. Can they help people, right? Instead of forcing, hey, you do this, you do that. I still see at many places, and the moment you get a position, you start saying, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that. Now people are at their home, they will do minimum what is required,
Hmm.
right? So until unless you create that bonding, so this unlimited potential inside, it's actually on the same vision, that how can we fill that gap so that people start working on their EQ. One, so of course through public speaking we help, in the public speaking we help in their leadership skills, right? We help.
Hmm.
So I call it a 3C formula that we provide it as a platform. 3C, when I say, it's more about communication, working on the every aspect of communication, right? It's communication. Again, generally people thinks if I can speak, I am a good communicator, but you'll
Or if they
see
speak good English, that
good
they are good
English. Yeah,
speaker.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for correcting.
that
Yeah,
is
if you,
that is
right,
incorrect. Hmm.
right, right. And I've seen this. So sometimes you might have seen in an office, some guy would be amazing speaker. When he speaks,
Hmm.
when I say speaker, amazing, he can speak amazingly well, but he is
Ah.
not an impactful leader, right? There are
Hmm.
many such examples, right? Particularly people sitting outside abroad, they speak amazing English, but again, they might not be good leaders. Mostly they are not,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
English is so there are other things. One is, as I said, connection. When I'm talking to Bitupan, are we able to make a connect? While I'm talking,
Right.
the moment I'm able to make connect, it's very easy to build that trust. It's easy to take it to the next level. So that is key part, that connection. So more than communication, so even though it's a communication, but connection is the main thing. And second thing is permission. When I say permission, so basically John Maxwell, so we are certified from John Maxwell PIM. So basically John Maxwell says mostly people, the moment people get a position, they want to they start expecting production. Let's say I become a CEO of a
Mm,
company, I start expecting a very low काम करेंगे, मैं salary दे रहा हूँ and this and that, but that doesn't happen. And the reason he says there is a mid level which he is missing. From position to production, there is a mid level which is called permission level, and that is called
permission. Okay.
relationship level. Until and unless I create that bonding, until and unless I create that relationship with my people, either they are employees, either they are partners, either they are friends, until I create this permission, I cannot expect any production. Our production will
Hmm.
be very minimal, right? It cannot go beyond that.
Got it.
So that's so important. So I think these are the key things that we are using in unlimited potential insight, and it's helping many people from their communication perspective, from their leadership perspective. As I said, communication. The second part is the community. This is the way we have this community on Book Lovers India. Similarly, we have a community which is very encouraging and very active. So they are helping each other a lot. And yeah, I think I'll
Now
stick
you
here.
said third three C's, right?
Yeah.
Communication,
So yeah.
community,
Yeah,
and
so main part is communication. I think we focus on communication, and then is this community part is community is, I think, is kind of key for us, because if you see, when we try to learn alone, it's a bit easier, right? But when it comes to support many people, right? When we start working with a community, right? That's where I think changes starts happening, right? So community
hmm,
is a kind of, I think, this whole thing, the power of association, right? What Jim Rohn says, right? If you remember,
hmm.
we are
Yes, yes.
always
Average
kind
of the
of,
five people.
yeah, we are always average of five people around us. So that's a kind of key to us. And yeah, I think these are the things that yeah, from the book club perspective, yes, these are the key things, the key vision that we carry.
So you must have seen a lot of transformation among the
I'm
people
sorry.
who must have.
I'm sorry, Virtu. You asked the third thing, and third thing is the coaching. So basically, coaching is anyway is the inbuilt. I think mostly what we do is we do when we don't have coach, we don't have mentors, somebody who has already walked that path. We are not able
Hmm,
to take the correct direction, right? So there are many coaches in book club, in PIM, in Unlimited Potential Insight, who actually help in that whole process, how to take this
hmm.
further. So that's why we call it 3C. Yeah, sorry.
Nice, nice. No, got your point. Good. So what I wanted to ask was that many people who have been a part of your community, they must have seen transformation in their own life. So I wanted to hear some success stories, like what kind of transformation people must have seen in themselves, and how it has already helped some of the existing students.
Yeah,
Like you can
sure.
share some stories. Yeah.
Yeah, Bidwan, surely. I'll not name them because I don't know if they like or not, but without taking names, so I'll take a couple of stories, how it actually transformed them. As I said, I think the focus, we are not focused that much on the strategies. Strategies is automatic the moment there is a right mental state and right stories that I'm telling. One of the guy who was in a book club, so he basically started, and he was not ready to come on the camera. And he
Camera shy.
said,
All right.
yeah, he was a camera shy, and he said, I'm not confident if I speak, I don't know how I look and all that and this. And I was surprised. I said, why you're not coming on camera? He was very confident when I was speaking, and he said he reads hell lots of books and everything. Now just think
Hmm.
about it. It's such a big contrast. I'm reading so many books, but I don't have basic guts of coming on the camera, right? So I said,
Hmm.
then how are you implementing those learnings, right?
Of course.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, but I'm very happy that the challenge was people don't get right coaches who can actually guide them and all that. So I started interacting with him, and then after a couple of weeks, he came on camera and he was speaking amazingly well in a couple of months, and he was kind of one of the best speakers in our club.
Wow.
And so the transformation is so amazing, and he himself tells this story, but I'll not take his name. He I know he might be hearing it, but that's so amazing to hear these kind of stories, and we keep on seeing such kind of stories. People who are having challenges in their relationships, right?
Hmm.
Issue with husband, issue with wife. And one of the again other girls, I saw that she was like living a life of hell with her husband, right? And yesterday I was talking about, right, instead of dragging, we should engage, and we should either try to fix that through leveraging, therapies or whatever it is, heal that relationship or move on. In India, it's so difficult to move on. People want to drag their relationship like anything. I've seen with my relatives, with my parents and all, we have that culture, right? And it's good actually. The culture is not about dragging, culture is about fixing it, right? But if you're
Hmm.
not able to fix, then actually the last option is to move on.
Fix
So
or
people
move. It's like do or die, fix or move.
fix or move, right? What is the point of wasting this precious life, right? This life
Hmm.
has not been given just to sacrifice, because just I think that I can't live without him or without her. So this girl, I think, again, amazing story. I was very surprised the kind of situation she was in, and she was good looking and quite confident girl and quite educated girl, but she was about 37, 38 kind of age. And she said, Vinith, now anyway I can't do anything. My age is so much. I said, you're younger than Ranbir Kapoor. Ranbir Kapoor is 38, 39. What the hell?
Uh,
He is still living a Casanova life, and you can't even live a normal,
mm,
a normal life. How can that be? Right. And so basically, again, on the state and the story, tried helping her. And then again, this book that we always recommend, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, Shad Halmster. That book she started going through and started changing her life. And recently I heard that now she has a good boyfriend in her life, and she has decided to move on and all that. So this
very
was
nice.
so many stories I keep hearing on these lines. So that's what
Nice, man.
we
You have helped people in your relationships also, self-development and even communication. I think you are
exactly.
having in you are helping in all the aspects. So
Right.
okay, then this should be definitely my last question. Okay, after this we will close it. The last question.
Mhm.
Now you are talking about transformation in others' life and all. So I want to know about you. You have started transforming your own life from some time back. As you mentioned that from Vivekananda's book you have started this process of self-development. So you would agree that there is a lot of difference between an old Vinit and what you are right now, isn't it? Because
I
of the
can't recognize the
transformation.
old Vinith now.
But let's say this should be an interesting question. Let's say you meet yourself as an 18-year-old. An 18-year-old Vinit is standing right in front of you. What did you say to him? Or let's say what like he an 18-year-old Vinit says that give me one or two life lessons or any suggestions to live the upcoming day, upcoming life, what would you suggest to yourself?
Amazing, Vitaman. Amazing question. First, as I said, I'm a action habit guy more than a thought guy. So mostly I've seen, if somebody really comes like this and asks, then of course I'll give my suggestion. But mostly I always set an example instead of asking people to do this and do that, right? The moment, I will rather have him part of my association, be with me for next 6 months and see what I'm doing, and mostly he will understand,
Hmm.
right? So that's
Hmm.
the easiest way. Showing is always the easiest way instead of telling, right? But let's say if
Hmm.
somebody is randomly is asking me, so if I see myself, when I was 18 years, I was confused guy. I was completely confused guy. So I didn't knew what I'm doing. So basically, people were in going into IT, so I thought IT is for me, right? So I was not very clear what I wanted from my life. So the one thing that I really will say to this 18-year-old guy is just one thing, that at least figure out what you want from your life, right? Just
Hmm.
figure out what you want from your life. I'll not be able to say anything to you. You can do some disc assessment, you can do some personality assessments, right? See your strengths, see your weaknesses, go to some coaches, try to understand from them, somehow just figure out what you want to achieve from your life. Kobe Bryant, in his words, he says, the moment you are clear what you want to achieve from your life, this world becomes your library. So
Wow.
everything I
Wow.
can align. Okay, if I am sitting here, how is it helping in my goal? If I am talking with someone, how is it helping my in my goal? This, I think, Vinith of 18 years was he was completely on a reverse direction. वो हर library में जा रहा था. He was going in every library, but he was not sure what to do with that. That was a big change that transformed me. Finding that purpose. Whenever I discuss with people, this one thing they still are not able to find out, and until unless they find out that why why they are, वो कहते हैं ना कि दुनिया में we are just born two times, not once when we are born, actually that's
Hmm.
the most important day, and the other day is when we know why we are
Find the
born,
purpose. Ah.
right? When we are exactly finding a purpose. So I think that is key thing. This should be one subject in, I think, education system. Find your why. Find why you are
Hmm.
here, right? What exactly you want to do. Something is there
Ah.
which is for you only, which you are uniquely built for. What is that
So
one
you
thing?
said that, the when I asked this question, the initially you said that, be with me for 6 months and
Right.
then you will learn. So basically, what you're saying is find some mentor. If not me, find some other mentor. Also find
Exactly.
somebody else. So in
Exactly.
short, we can say is that if you have to just tell in 2 sentences, find your purpose and find a mentor. These are
Exactly.
the two life lessons that you would give to any 18-year-old person, boy, right?
Exactly. If he's able
Ah,
to, if he mostly they'll not be able to find IC. It sounds easy, but it's not easy. I know.
of course, yeah, yeah,
There are
yeah.
concepts like ikigai and so many other things that people can leverage, but then it's not easy. So I think somewhere a mentor like Bitupan, mentor like Vineet, or mentor like so many other people, right? There are, but they say, right, the moment you try to find something, you'll get it. But question is, people are not even
Hmm.
bothered about what do I want to do in my life, then they will never get it. So at least that thought
Hmm.
process to, I think that thought process to start कि मेरे को कुछ करना है, मेरे को क्या करना है, let me find it out.
Nice. Very nice, man. Nice explanation, nice wisdom. And I really liked the way you have explained with examples and real life incidences without taking the names. And I think the people who are listening and who will listen in the future, after the recorded one, they'll definitely like it. All right. So this was a productive one, I guess, whoever is listening. And hopefully we will join again sometime with some different topics. Probably we can talk about any specific topics. Today
Surely.
was a general discussion, right, about
Right.
what you have learned, but we can go to specifics and then discuss in the future events.
Surely we can
So I
discuss
think we'll
on so many other things,
uh,
right? Yeah.
exactly, yes, man. So it was really nice talking to you, Vinit. Let's close this now, and then thank you so much. It was
Thank you so
pleasure
much.
talking.
Thank you so much. I think it was an amazing discussion. Thank you for asking such an amazing question. It's not easy to ask right questions. So life is all about asking right questions, not answering. Answer is very normal. Everyone can give the answer, but asking the right question is so critical. And thank you for asking such an amazing question. I also started thinking about my life, which some I didn't think about before you asked this question. So thank you so much for hosting. Thank you so much for bringing me on this platform. I'm so happy that we started our journey on this platform on Unlimited Potential Insight, and I'm sure we will grow a lot from here.
Yes, of course. All right. Thank you. Bye
Thank you so
bye.
much. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
every viewers. Bye bye.